more disturbing had been found at the crash site. Coming up, alien bodies emerge from the site of the mysterious crash.
They were most often described as little people between 3.5 to 4 feet tall, with large heads, slightly slanted eyes, and a frail body.
And later, an alien abduction may offer clues to extraterrestrial intentions.
I'm sure somebody on board said, "Oh, why did that idiot go underneath the saucer?"
Since 1947, the Air Force has strongly denied that an alien spaceship crashed in Roswell, New Mexico. Half a century later, a videotape surfaced showing the military autopsy of one of these aliens. But upon closer examination, it appeared the footage was fabricated.
I am still convinced that it is not real. I don't know who made it.
It could have been set up by the government and publicized and then debunked, which would work into their favor. At this point, we don't know of any autopsies actually being done.
To dispel the public's mounting suspicion, the Air Force in 1997 released a comprehensive rebuttal to all charges of a cover-up and the presence of alien bodies.
So they issued a report stating that the people who reported seeing bodies were mistaken. What the Air Force said they saw were mannequins. These mannequins, which were over 6 feet tall.
Well, we've done some checking on that story, and the dummies weren't used until 1953, 6 years after the event happened.
Today, Roswell investigators know they need more solid evidence to prove that aliens exist.
If we were able to take some physical evidence and have it tested and prove without doubt, scientifically, that it is not from Earth, then I think we would start getting some support, and that would be my holy grail.
For most people, the biggest question is why the government would expend so much energy for so long to cover up the existence of aliens. The answer may lie somewhere along Nevada State Highway 375, otherwise known as the Extraterrestrial Highway, for the many UFO sightings that have been reported along this lonely stretch of road. About 90 miles north of Las Vegas lies a block of government land known as Area 51.
Area 51, one of the most infamous places on planet Earth.
Just 15 minutes away from Area 51 is the Little Alien, a kitschy spot where visitors can grab a cold drink and soak up some local information.
I've had people from NATO here. We've had CIA. We've had you name it, we've had it. It's just an interesting place. People have they have a need for knowing what goes on beyond the mountain range.
For years, rumors have circulated that within Area 51 is a large Air Force base where top-secret military testing and experiments occur.
Area 51 probably has Aurora aircraft, the successor of the SR-71. I know it's got a lot of, they're called unmanned aerial vehicles. These are these remote-controlled devices, which can even fire rockets.
Area 51 is exempted from federal, state, interstate, and local environmental laws. And when questioned, the government's response is no comment.
There's quite a bit that happens just over the mountains here.
You see military exercises, you see flares, you see airplanes, helicopters, unmanned vehicles. Other than that, you see things you can't explain.
It's difficult to locate Area 51 since it's not on any map. The airspace over the area is heavily restricted and high fences surround the perimeter. Trespass here at your own risk.
If you're on the ground, there are sensors all over the place to pick up motion of things that shouldn't be there. And as one guy called them, the camo dudes, guys in camouflage outfits in their jeeps will come traipsing after you. If you're in the air, they will send fighters up after you.
The helicopters have some serious armament. When they shoot you, you're going to be dust.
But there's one rumor that always generates the most excitement.
I thought that they had reverse engineered the spacecraft that supposedly they found crashed in this area.
That rumor stems from the experience of Bob Lazar, who claims he worked at an ultra-secret division of Area 51 called S4.
S4 was built and maintained only for one reason, and that was to house and to test any of the recovered alien technology vehicles.
Lazar says he was a trained physicist at the Los Alamos nuclear facility, and that in 1989 he was approached about a secret government research project and flown to Area 51. Lazar initially thought the spaceship had been developed by the U.S. military.
They said, this is an alien craft and we want to be able to duplicate it, and we want to know how the thing works.
As the senior staff physicist, Lazar was in charge of analyzing the ship's propulsion system.
Here was an incredibly complex system. There was nothing even as simple as wiring connecting subsystems together, so it operated more like magic. Every single waste thing that was going on was being utilized by something else, so it was, for all intents and purposes, completely perfect.
Over the next few months, Lazar and his team made little progress in understanding how the craft worked.
We were dealing with something that could have some just fantastic impact, but at the time we didn't even have the slightest chance on how to duplicate the system or really even understand what was going on.
It wasn't your typical day job. Lazar would get called into work erratically, sometimes late at night. After 6 months, the calls stopped coming. Lazar told a few close friends about his experience, and then things got scary.
They started following me around more than usual, and friends that I hung around, they even started noticing people following us around, and I started getting a little concerned, thinking, am I all of a sudden going to get wiped out in some way? And this really started looking like a Mission Impossible episode.
Lazar claims he went public with his story to protect himself, but many people, like UFO expert Stanton Friedman, don't buy any of it, calling Lazar a fraud.
He isn't a nuclear physicist. He doesn't have a degree from anywhere. Didn't go to MIT or Caltech, as he claimed. That he didn't work for Los Alamos. He worked at Los Alamos for a subcontractor.
But Lazar insists that the government deleted all of his academic and professional files.
They've gone to great lengths to discredit everything that I've said, and successfully so in many respects. Something they always told me, it's one of the easiest things to keep secret because it's so unbelievable. And that really is true. If I heard this story from somebody else, I don't think I'd buy it. It's pretty far-fetched.
Only the government knows for certain if Bob Lazar's story is fact or fiction. But the truth is out there. Coming up, a very close encounter of the third kind.
Their features were small except for the eyes, and the eyes were huge.
And later, could increased sightings around the world suggest we're due for an official visit?
I have a sense that there's still more to come. It's not over. It's not over.
Three hours north of Phoenix, the small town of Snowflake lies at the edge of Arizona's White Mountain region, a popular destination for camping, fishing, hiking, and skiing. This high-altitude area enjoys plenty of sunshine year-round. But you don't want to be stranded on these mountains on a cold, dark night. Just ask Travis Walton. Born and raised in Snowflake, he's still haunted by his intimate encounter with alien beings more than 30 years ago.
For years after the incident,